guys, I've got an insanely huge bone to pick. I didn't even realize I had this bone to pick until this past week, but I'm angry. I'm angry at Wizkids.
Tell me why you're angry, Seth. Unleash that rage as a bonus action.
Because, like, a year ago, I pre-ordered a full brick of Spelljammer minis, like, to get ready for this campaign that I'm going to be running soon. I pre-ordered a whole brick. I've got a bunch of beautiful Spelljammer minis, and I also got, like, a bunch of the little ships, too. And I got the delivery before I left for basic training, and I get this box, and it has one Spelljammer box in it that I spent $140 on, and my little Spelljammer ship model. So I got all the ships, and I got one like little booster box.
Now, for the audience at home, Seth, the box that you purchased, there's supposed to be eight of the little blind boxes in it, right?
Brick, 8 of them. So I get one. And I get my little ships, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll just email them, and obviously they've got to have good customer support, right? Everyone does. I email them. So like 3 months later, they get back to me. Hey, can we see your like form, or like can we see the box that was shipped to you? I'm like, no, it's been 3 months since you guys emailed me back. Of course, you can't see the original box you sent me. But here's all the minis I got, and so I sent them a picture of all the minis that I got from them. And they haven't emailed me back. It's been like 6 months. I went to basic training. I came back. I've been here for months and months, and I don't have a response from them. And now I'm probably not going to continue to pursue, okay? Because it's just not worth it to me at this point. But I've got, that's my bone to pick, as well as the fact that just like, I don't know. I feel like our episode today, welcome to TableTalk Friday. My name is Seth Pittman. I'm joined by my 2 best friends, Zachary Carvon and Andrew Romano. How are you boys doing today?
You know, Seth, I'm feeling pretty good. Me and Zach were just talking about it. I think I have 2 exhaustion points currently on my person.
God.
I could sustain 3 or 4 more before death. So, but we're pushing through. We're at disadvantage today, and our speed is halved. But
man,
we're doing okay. We're doing fine.
Yeah, I mean, if we have to attack anything, though, we're ready to go. So that's really the important
part. Aggression's not the problem here.
Well, yeah, as far as like products and stuff go, I think that's what this episode's going to be about. We're going to talk about like the products we've gotten from D&D lately, as well as ones that are upcoming. So yeah, the quality of these minis is not great either. I believe we can start from there.
Yeah, so this is a trend that I've noticed for a while. So there was a nice little sweet spot there. I want to say it was around like 20, maybe even like 2019, like right before the Pandemic occurred. had to go back into my memory banks for what we called it. Right before the Pandemic occurred, I was noticing a uptick in quality in the miniatures that Wizkids put out, and I bought a fuck ton of them. And you know, just generally, I think if you're lazy like me and you don't want to paint all your minis, it's an amazing tool for DMs to have all the iconic D&D monsters you could want all in one place. I've got more minis than I could ever need as a dungeon master, and you know, I could run all the sessions that I want with what I've purchased. But after the Pandemic, and you know, I know there are a lot of things that go into it, so please understand, Wizkids. We know that it's tough being in the market that you're in. But at the same time, we really need some quality control here. Back when Wild Beyond the Witchlight came out, that was the first that I noticed was there was something wrong here. And so with their blind boxes, usually the whole situation is they'll give you 4 regular minis and a large mini. So like a regular would be like small or medium size creature. In this box, they gave, I believe it was 2 medium creatures and a unicorn horn. What? And then there was also a large miniature, but like that's not a mini, and I didn't pay for that. And you didn't advertise that I might get a unicorn horn. That I don't like. When I say a unicorn horn, I mean like it's maybe 6 inches long, just like a weird prop that might go on like, a girl's tiara or whatever, but it was unattached to anything. Like, what the fuck do you expect me to do with this? It's sort of
it's like a prop for one thing in the campaign, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So in any case, bizarre choice there. And ever since, all of the miniatures that I've purchased, so the molds are high quality. There's an incredible amount of detail that they've been able to sneak into these minis, but there have just been a lot of quality control issues where you get minis and the arms weren't glued in properly, so they they're in pieces when you get it, or they're warped or bent or whatever the case. And that's always been an issue with these. I assume storing them in a hot area can cause those problems. So there's a certain level of leeway that I'm willing to give, but it's just become very prevalent. And the fact that they only sent you one box when you were supposed to get a whole brick does not surprise me at all. I even the last miniature that I purchased from Wizkids was they had a super booster that they released with Fizban's Treasury of Dragons.
Yeah, I wanted those because it looked cool.
Yeah, so it sounds cool. I'm like, a super booster? You mean it's better than the regular booster? It must be because it costs twice as much. No. So the situation with these boosters, by the way, if you're not familiar, they're the little blind sets, so you never know what you're gonna get inside. And so I figured that like the super booster, they advertise it, you're guaranteed to get a large rare miniature inside. So I thought, oh, so it's like a regular booster, but with a guarantee for one of the good ones. That's awesome, because the big rare Fizban's miniatures were super cool. I wanted a sea dragon, or I wanted a mimic horde, or whatever. No. What is inside the super booster is one. Count them, one miniature. And that's it. There's one, and you're not even guaranteed to get a rare one. It could be any of the shitty large ones, and this is a $40 product for a single random miniature. For the same price, you could get one of their high-quality premium sets where they show you exactly what you're going to get, and you get several miniatures that are of super high quality. Like they released some for Storm Kings or Ghost of Saltmarsh, or a bunch of sets, which those all seem fairly cool. But I don't know, my faith in WizKids has definitely been challenged. We'll say it that way, by their quality control lately. I feel like the team has not been delivering the highest level of quality. And so we say all this with neither of us have purchased any miniatures from Wizkids in the past year, so they may have improved their practices. I always see them advertised to me like, hey, you want to get back into this? But we haven't been playing in person, so I haven't felt the need to buy. But even if I did, I've got more than enough miniatures at this point. So I think it's going to take some serious convincing to get back into it at this point.
I had no idea that you had been in such like a challenge with Wizkids prior to this. I didn't realize it was that difficult and the pricing was that off. And I'm thinking back to, you were talking about that weird unicorn horn thing. I think back to my Magic the Gathering days, where a little bit later in that part of my Magic the Gathering career, we'll say, towards the end, they came out with a feature called Melding. I don't know if you remember this, Seth, or not, where you could actually have two cards, and if you played them at the same time or you met some certain condition, you would flip the card over and then combine them, and it made a big card on the battlefield. Is it a possibility that the horn was like a piece of a larger unicorn or something? I mean,
no. So I'm pretty sure I've read through a lot of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's like a prop for the game.
But like, I don't want a prop as a mini. I want people. I want monsters.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's not a reasonable one. Like I don't think by any stretch of your imagination, like you should buy that in like a set for that specific area that thing is in, right?
Right, and the thing that's egregious about it is it's random. So I bought two Wild Beyond the Witchlight sets, and I got two fucking unicorn horns, and you know where both of them went? into my fucking garbage can. Because what do I want with 2 unicorn horns?
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't bought minis in a very long time because, one, we're not really playing in person right now, so there's no point in me having more of these. And two, like, I don't know. I haven't really seen the value in the ones that are being released now that I've got so many anyways. So I like the minis I have. I don't plan on getting more right now. But you know what? Give me my freaking 7 boxes of Spelljammer minis. That's that was like $100 and something just down the drain that I flushed because it just they sent me the wrong thing, and if their customer support was better and they're like, oh, we're so sorry, like we'll send you the boxes right away, sir, then that would be one thing. I'd be like, oh, no problem. I don't care. You were so nice. You don't even have to give them to me.
Sure,
that's fine. But in this case where I'm like, oh, you don't even have like the decency to respond. What the heck?
Right.
Especially like that's not even like a small issue. That's a big issue.
Absolutely. And I have to say that maybe we were the fools in this situation, because really, what did we think was going to happen with this whole situation where the business model is you don't know what the fuck you're going to get. Like, there is zero commitment to customer support or quality control there.
Yeah, maybe my whole brick was a booster box, and I just got unlucky.
Yeah, exactly. So you're really, this has been a gamble the whole time, and we were stupid to spend so much money on it, because ultimately you could have gotten the same box 8 times, and that would have been even worse. Now you've got 8 of this one specific NPC. Like, ooh, great, I love it.
I do like having multiple of certain things. Like, obviously, it's a great idea to have multiple goblins or kobolds or things like that. And I know Zach has his personal army of hill giants off to my left on the shelf over here, which I can see a really cool campaign or a one-off with that little hill giant army. But you definitely don't need multiple of the same, like, cooler ones. Like, I know you have a big black dragon, and then Seth has a big blue one.
White dragon.
Yes.
White one, yes.
I have a white dragon and a blue dragon.
Yep.
I definitely wouldn't want 2 of the same dragon, because then that's weird. Because there's so many other cool.
I use them both at the same time.
Well, yeah, but there's so many other cool dragon colors that we don't have yet. Like I always say, if we start playing again, that I would buy a dragon too, and I get like a blue or a green one, maybe a red one. That way we had a couple different colors and options there. But I definitely don't want multiple blue ones or something. I mean, I can only think of one. Well, I guess there is one specific scenario where we did fight 2 blue dragons. But other than that, I can't think of another one where we'd fight multiple dragons at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, let your players use their fucking imaginations. Ooh, I don't have 2 blue dragons. This green one's blue. We understand? All right, let's move on. But oh yeah, go ahead.
So that's something I wanted to bring up too. Is like I feel like the pricing on a lot of D&D products lately has been a little extra egregious, to say the least. This may be a Hasbro issue, not like a Dungeons & Dragons issue, because I feel like the creative team behind Dungeons & Dragons really wants these products to succeed, But I feel like the pricing has been outrageous. Specifically, we were just talking about Giants, on these physical copies of their books. I don't know if you guys have seen the price change.
No.
On the book copies. Glory of the Giants and Fandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, are releasing next month and the month after, and they are both $60 physical books.
I don't think I've ever paid that kind of money for a D&D book.
$60 physical books.
That's
retail
always been
price. So that means
that's always been MSRP for the 5e books, I will say.
No, it was $50. It was $49.99 before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, everything. If I go to a retail store, like if I go to the comic shop down the road right now, I can buy any of the D&D books for $49.99. Now which you know what? That's still pretty high, but that's like, if I'm buying it right there in person. On Amazon, you can always get things cheaper, right? That's why if you're buying the books physically cheaper, Amazon usually has sales on them, so I usually pay like $30, $35 for these books. But now everything is $60 for the physical books, and I read a lot of these books, okay, and they have gone down in quality. Or like in recent history. not so recently when Spelljammer released, they came out with the Spelljammer books. That whole set was pretty cool. But I recently went back in to look at all the maps and the stuff I need to plan out my Spelljammer campaign, and I have no content to plan my campaign around. Like, everything's gonna have to come off the dome or buy third-party like space products in order for me to run this really cool space adventure that I want to go on. I also got the Roll20 digital like product in order to like was hoping that it would provide me enough material to kind of run at least a portion of my campaign. Mostly, pretty much all I ended up getting out of that was the tokens for the creatures and stuff, because the maps are god awful. They are like just plain white. Someone drew them with like hand drew them, or like digitally drew them in like Microsoft Paint and then uploaded them and were like, this'll work. Because
Dang.
they're not detailed maps at all. Like, they're very, very poorly detailed. They're completely white backgrounds too. Like, there's no color to them. So
wait, you're getting blank maps without color?
Yeah, blank maps, no color.
And those are
and that's
the official ones
those are
for
the-
Light of Xerxes?
Yeah, those are the official Light of Xerxes maps, are plain white maps. And looking at the maps that they showed for Big Beast Presents, which is Glory of the Giants coming out, they have a couple of like giant layers, which are also just plain white maps with some hatch marks. And I'm like, guys, I can get for like $3 on Roll20 or like on any third-party platform, for like $3 I can get a set of maps like this that are full color detail.
Or even better, you go on Reddit and find that shit for free.
Yes, people just upload them and say, hey, here's my battle map, use it. Like, you can find that stuff for free, download it. And that's crazy that like there's no detail, there's nothing like that, and you want to charge $60 for it. The story, the writing, all of that, I feel like is good. Like, the all that lore is what I'm personally buying the books for, because that stuff I like to use it for. I like to read and find out all this cool giant stuff, all the history of them. There's 75 new giants coming out in Glory of the Giants, like stat blocks and stuff, that I'm like, that is where the quality is gonna be, is in the lore and those monster stat blocks. But yeah, if you're trying to run a campaign, do not buy like the digital version of this on Roll20, because it is such bad quality. I bought it because I wanted to see what it would give, like what exactly I'm getting out of it, and turns out I got a bunch of tokens for Spelljammer.
Do you get the impression that maybe the reason why the quality of Roll20, because not too long ago, I recall Lost Minds of Phandelver had a lot of good materials for Roll20. Curse of Strahd had lots of great official material for Roll20. Do we think that maybe they're just sort of phoning it in for the official Roll20 materials because they're wanting to push people toward their new virtual tabletop when it launches?
That's possible. I mean, I have the D&D Beyond Marketplace pulled up right now. The digital PDFs of these are only $30. So, like, that's something I'm like, oh, I'll drop $30 on a PDF and read it.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's a super reasonable thing to do. And then the Planescape digital only is actually, for the pre-order for the 17th or October 17th, $50 for the digital only Planescape book.
Damn.
So I don't know what all is going to be in that, if it's going to be like a set or whatever, but oh yeah, it looks like Adventures in the Multiverse. It looks like it's a set, kind of like Spelljammer. So that's a little more reasonable.
Yeah, I do hope that they do Planescape justice. And we don't have another Spelljammer situation, because that would be very disappointing.
Spelljammer was not done justice at all. I think that Spelljammer is a beautiful setting. I think what we're going to do with it is going to be awesome, but it's barely going to include any official material.
I think it's weird that the quality is dropping at this point, just because I feel like they're not cranking these books out like they used to. I feel like they used to actually release them faster. Maybe it's just my imagination.
Oh, no, they are.
There's plenty of time between these releases for them to make it good and polished. I just don't see it's not like they have to come out with a new book every month, right? It's the last time one released was a couple months ago. Was it like Dragonlance or something? They're not coming out with like a hot book every month. So I just don't understand why the quality is dropping. And Seth, to on your end, those white maps and just the use of the tokens of what you purchased, that's crazy to me. We've all developed maps. We've all made those tokens. And me and Zach have actually discussed the tokens recently. We both used 2 different applications to make those. And they're not difficult to use. They're free. And
yeah, it takes 15 seconds to make all those tokens.
Yeah, and even the ones we make, I would argue that they're pretty high quality. And we're just using, pictures off the internet and putting a little circle around with some color. And, the bad guys are the red circles and the good guys are the green circles. And, it's simple and straightforward. So to me, that's nuts that we would even pay for tokens, unless, of course, it's like official art or something of like a big bad. But even that, I don't think that's worth the money at all. So I'm not sure what's happening.
I think I paid $30 to $50 for that Spelljammer material. I can't remember exactly, but I got tokens. I got a space map. I got like some cool, interesting art and maps to use for you guys that I could have downloaded and just uploaded myself. But I got some cool, interesting stuff like that. But I mean, it's not going to get me anywhere near what I want to do in my Spelljammer campaign. So it's basically just like, all right, well, I have all the module stuff for that, and I can show you guys diagrams of all the ships and everything. That'll be cool, just being like switching you guys over and be like, hey, this is exactly the layout of your ship. That'll be handy and nice to have handouts to send to you guys. But other than that, the actual campaign running is still going to be all up to me. And the reason I would spend $40 to $50 is to take that off my shoulders,
Right, exactly.
I think as long as we have the ships, from our standpoint of actual visual aids, I think that's probably the most important thing in Spelljammer. Yeah. Just because I do remember, and we've done things on ships before where it gets kind of confusing. It's like, all right, how much movement do we have, or where's the staircase? It gets a little weird. But even when you brought home that 3D, I want to call it a mini, but it was the ship model, right? That we used in what one-off did we use that in? I can't even remember.
It was the Spelljammer Adventures Academy. Spelljammer Academy.
Yeah, we did use it for Spelljammer Academy.
We did. Okay.
I think we also used it for Captain Benny, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Captain
and
Benny
for Captain
Adventure.
Benny.
Oh man, but that was tremendously helpful for me. I mean, you all know I struggle with sometimes a description without the use of hands and seeing you guys in person. So,
where I got
bridge
that?
incident.
A third-party vendor on Amazon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that is in no way an official mini. Like I got that on Amazon. Someone who loves D&D made it. Like that's the thing. This whole community, and that's what we went over back whenever the whole one D&D thing, open D&D thing was happening. Was like this community is run by fans. If you need to provide quality to your fans, because like I will spend money on your company, and I will continue to do that if you give me good products. Like I'm totally in. So yeah, and right now I'm all in on just like using third-party stuff because I love it. I recently Fool's Gold PDFs came out for the Kickstarter I backed a while back. Can't wait to read that setting and get my Tarask shipped to me very soon.
Woo! Yeah.
So all of that, like I can't wait to read through it. I'm probably not going to run it, but it's going to be nice, like inspiration and material. There might be some cool stat blocks I can use. I know there's like really nice new races and subclasses that might be useful for you guys that I can send over. So like those PDFs just got released to me. I can't wait to look at them. And yeah, there's just such quality in the people that are actually passionate about making this stuff. Now, that's not to say that the writers and the people creating these creatures, I think they are all very talented and very creative. They have a lot of material to go off of. The new giants look really cool that are going to be included here. And Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk, I don't know if I've been more excited about a module. Like, because I love Phandelver so much after playing through it. Like, it was my first D&D campaign. And so now that they're doing a 1 to 12 version of it, of like, there's a whole cult behind the things that are going on that are trying to, the whole like premise of it is there's a cult that's trying to like make Phandalin, like turn Phandalin into their like, their headquarters. They want to like transform this place into their own, into their own base, their own like lair is this whole like town of Phandalin because of like the magical history of it. And so that's a cool premise, and it keeps you in a little village that I love so much even longer. So I'm very excited about this module. I hope it comes out good, but the quality of the maps and stuff that are in it just do not help at all.
Yeah, that really is a shame. I will say I do find a certain charm in the black and white maps with the hatching. I think it works for a certain level of D&D, but when we're playing on Roll20, I really want all the bells and whistles, right? Because I could make a black and white map with hatching with some expo markers and my my battle mat.
Well, yeah, that's the charm of it, is you might be seeing it in that way at your D&D table.
Right. But if we're releasing a commercial product for a digital tabletop that's designed to, allow for more descriptive maps and, better descriptions of what's going on. I mean, that's half the point of using a virtual tabletop in the first place. I'd expect a little bit more.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a bad time for us too, because we've talked recently where we're sort of leaning more into online games right now. We haven't met up in quite some time, and so the idea that maybe the online resources aren't where they could be makes me a little nervous. Because when we're in person, we can do anything we want. We could all dress up if we want to. We have all the minis in the world. We have battle maps. We can draw whatever we want anytime. So we have full flexibility there. But when we go online, if we just if we're slacking those resources like the nice maps and the nice tokens and the nice whatever it may be, I don't know. I'm a little concerned, but
don't be concerned about our games, because you've seen that Zach and I have pulled out good quality.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of D&D players, around the world that maybe don't have that time. Maybe they don't have the resources to put it to make it some of their own maps. Maybe they don't have the skill or the experience to do it. To which case, a couple of years ago, if you asked me to make a map for D&D online, I'd be like, I don't know. Use like Paint
here's
on
my
Microsoft. I don't know.
Here's my hot tip for all the players out there who are looking to spice up their online game, because I think I talked about it last week. I am loving playing on Roll20. I've been having a blast because I feel like the way that we've been doing combat and stuff, I can get more creative with it. I can be more descriptive about it, and I can show you exactly what I'm thinking of. Because there have been times in person and even on Theater of the Mind where before we were using a virtual tabletop for a Roll20, it was really hard for me to explain things. But then we started using this, and I had 3 maps that we used last week, and you guys were able to run between everything that I was thinking of and describing, and everything was very visual. We were able to mark down exactly where you guys were teleporting between. I had a lot of fun. And I think that between the quality of the Roll20 maps and the way that we've been playing D&D for all these years, it was a really good combination. I've been enjoying it a lot. But yeah, for someone who oh man, I really want to run Lost Mines of Phandelver, I'm just going to buy the beginner's box, $30, get all this stuff. You pop in. Back then, those products were solid. You pop into Lost Mines, you've got everything you need for this campaign. They've already laid out all of the dungeons and maps for you, so all you have to do is throw the player characters in there. They've done all the work has been done. I open up this Light of Xerxes module, and it just gives me a plain space background with all the ships on it for me to just delete the ones that you're not using at the time. And it doesn't even fill out where the creatures are and stuff on the battle maps. It's just hey, here's what the map kind of looks like.
That's
crazy.
So weird.
Crazy. I'm I bought this module so that way it would be set up. So that way, if and when I decide to use the Light of Xerxes stuff, I could just pop you over to that map, right? And this is the whole idea behind spending the money on it. And then you open it up, and it's actually, we've only provided you with the bare bones ships and then the background of space. That's insane.
Well, maybe wouldn't be a bad idea on this company's behalf is they've been releasing a lot of 1D&D content for us, right? And I love it, and it's great, especially the last one. There was just so much content in it, right? Maybe instead of doing another breakdown of what they're going to put in the book, why don't they just tell us what they're going to do more online? Why don't they give us a little D&D Beyond preview of, it's been a few months since we last talked about it. This is kind of what we're thinking. This is kind of what it looks like. Maybe give us some pictures or some videos.
For the virtual tabletop, you mean?
Yeah. I'd like to see a little bit more of that instead of the actual content, maybe. If we're this worried about quality content online, I don't know, give us a little sneak peek. Give us some reassurance that this is what you're doing instead of another month of barbarians or rogues.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard a whole lot of like good or bad about that yet because we haven't gotten any real like development previews on it except for like the digital like look at it. I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about it just based on how things have been lately. I'm liking Roll20 a lot. I'll say that. Other than that, I'm not sure about their virtual tabletop how it's gonna be because what I'm expecting is like a bunch of online booster boxes for me to get the things I need, like the minis and everything, like microtransactions, for them to pull as much out of me as possible for their virtual tabletop. I think it's gonna be like an official, almost video game-esque thing where I can buy all their official stuff on there, which may or may not be a good thing. It really depends on the quality and the pricing of those things. If they want me to buy loot boxes of minis on there that I might get the right thing, hell no. I'll use my free tokens on Roll20.
Yeah, but at the same time, I will say the one benefit of doing all your mini purchasing on a virtual tabletop is never again will you have to worry about buying an 8 count of boosters and only getting one.
Right.
I have to assume.
Right.
So that's a little silver lining there at least.
It's also something very different about buying booster packs online versus in person. I don't know if anybody has played like an online version of Magic the Gathering. I know I have, and it's fun. Like when you win a battle, you get like a little booster, you get to open up, see what you got. It's cool and all, but like the actual experience of opening the physical booster pack of like a bunch of Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you open them up, like you get the actual pack in front of you, you start swiping through them. That's fun.
Oh wait, hold on, because imagine. Right. What if we did that with D&D somehow? Like, so obviously you don't play matches of D&D, but like maybe if you can offer up your DM services for every like group that you DM for, they give you free loot for the thing.
Ooh, that would be
like
cool.
That's too easy to exploit because they don't know that you played the game. Like all you do is pop in and then leave. I don't want this to be a video game, guys. I want this to be a good virtual tabletop. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like. I want it to be a good virtual tabletop where assets can be uploaded and it can be because D&D is not all the board to me. I think if I was to choose between having an amazing board and just having like really solid handouts in Theater of the Mind products, I'd rather go with like the Theater of the like really good writing, because we can play amazing D&D without a virtual tabletop, without a tabletop at all. But I mean, the visuals assist tremendously. I don't think combat's nearly as interesting through Theater of the Mind. And realistically, all of your characters are superheroes right now. We need good combat.
For sure. And, I will say the general tone of this episode has been more on the negative side. So though, it sucks that prices are going up and quality is going down, I do feel hopeful that at least Glory of the Giants it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool book. Honestly,
awesome.
My only concern with it is the giant barbarian seems a little too cool to pass up. I feel like we might see it a few times in the near future,
as well as
depending. I almost want to forsake my hippo monk.
I think these stat blocks look awesome.
Yeah, and the stat blocks for all these new monsters. I mean, I wish this book was out when we ran Storm Kings. There's just so much cool variants of giants that we haven't seen.
Do you understand how handy it might come in for something like Spelljammer, where you're going to all kinds of different settings and locations?
Oh, for sure.
Well, I think, but that stands for any book, though. Handy. I think at that point, when you're going to Spelljammer, anything's at play. You could use Dungeon of the Mad Mage, you could use, Tyranny of Giants, whatever it may be. You could use it
and
somewhere.
Planescape as well. Because while I think that Spelljammer is more of like my speed right now, I think Zach is really excited about Planescape, and I can't wait to see what he's able to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, if they deliver a book that's the same quality as Eberron Rising from the Last War for Planescape, I'd be thrilled. I mean, because really, that's all you need. If anything, I'd hope that they do dive into Sigil with as much detail as they did for Sharn in Eberron. Yeah. And I mean, that's pretty much all you need for Planescape, because the rest of it's just hopping to different planes. And maybe if we could even take another stab at giving some like good adventure material for all the planes versus the couple paragraphs they give you in the DMG, that'd be great too. But we'll see.
I don't know how good the provisions are for things like Eberron and Out of the Abyss. or even the Curse of Strahd, right? I don't know how good the things are in there because I haven't read them. I just assume that they're terrible and that Zach is just an incredible DM, because every time Zach runs something for us, I just feel very immersed in it. So it's either they're terrible and Zach's just really good at it, or maybe Zach's a terrible DM and it's just really
think
really good quality content in there.
Like, I think pre 2019, like pre-COVID, I think everything was pretty solid.
Yeah, I will say Out of the Abyss is definitely a book like Storm Kings, where they give you crumbs and you have to make bread. But I really like the setting and like all the little pieces about the Underdark that they give you from that book. It's hidden. It's not laid out in a logical way. Like this isn't a great setting book if you want to like get an Underdark setting. Honestly, I feel like they could do that. They can make an Underdark setting book, and it would help a lot with running Out of the Abyss. But it's good, And to your point, Seth, everything pre 2019 and before, I feel like all of the 5e books were serviceable enough, except for maybe Hoard of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat. People said they didn't like those so much.
That was when they were just getting their like toes wet with 5e though. Like they didn't really know what their methods for like developing these were going to be. I think I haven't read like Princes of the Apocalypse and stuff like that. I hear they're meh, but I mean they had some solid products. Storm Kings is one of my most beloved like setting books as well as modules. And it's not even that good. Like as far as like its layout and everything, that was even when they were still trying to figure out what the proper way to develop a book like that is going to be for 5e. And nowadays, when everything's more like a lot more story based and stuff, I think products like Descent into Avernus, which had a very convoluted storyline until you rewrite it, was awesome. I love it. And all of these premises are amazing. You get a lot of good stat blocks. You get a very good premise. And yeah, I mean, realistically with D&D, DM's always going to have to do a lot of work. So I've never minded that portion of it. Even if the book's not perfect, if it's got an awesome premise, I'm still going to buy it. Like,
yeah, sure.
That's just the way I've always operated with it. But I do have an official product I'd like to talk about that is doing wonders for my life and my mental health right now. Because it's time to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 again, because I have played 17 hours of early access in the past week. Because I wanted to warm up to the game and see what it's all about. And let me tell you that I now have to stop myself until the game releases, because I played a fighter and I played a ranger in Baldur's Gate 3's early access. A lot of this stuff is going to change. There are a lot of bugs in the early access that haven't been messed with yet. Your characters don't have much of a voice, but man, everyone's going to love this game. Like, if this is the bare bones version of Baldur's Gate, everyone's going to love the hell out of this game. It's like I'm playing my own D&D campaign.
So does it feels good though? Even the bare bones with the bugs that went out, it feels good and quality to play?
Yes. Like,
wow.
I'm playing through so I'm playing a Wood Elf Ranger right now. It feels like D&D. Now there are a lot of things that I'm like, man, that would be broken in 5e, but it works in a video game. So one, when you kill things, you get XP. So that is like you are pushed to like eliminate creatures. And now there are certain times whenever you complete a mission or you solve something with like charisma based things that you will get XP for it. Rolling the dice is always satisfying. Every single time I roll the dice, I'm like, okay, let's see if I actually make it through this. Now, one complaint is they show you the DC and they show you the health bar of like the enemies. So they show you, they're like, hey, you need a 10 on this roll to pass. Like if you want to pick this lock, you have to roll a 10. Now you cannot cancel. You can't be like, ooh, a 10. I got to cancel my thing. You're still going to roll. But you know the DC of like things whenever you're doing it. So I feel like that's a video game mechanic. Of course, this is a video game. A lot of people who haven't played a tabletop game probably would want to know, well, I mean, I don't want to waste my tools if I don't know how much I'm using it on.
Right, exactly. I feel like that's sort of hand waving away the stuff the DM would describe about it to like give you hints about how difficult it would be.
And then likewise, when it comes to like charisma checks, you know you're gonna make a charisma check beforehand because it's like, hey, it gives you like 4 options. It's like, hey, here's the persuasion, deception, intimidation check. These are the ones you can make. You pull that thing up, and it gives you options. Now you can choose for like the cleric to use guidance on you whenever you do it. You can choose for
Fuck yeah.
It'll show you all your bonuses and everything that you get with it, and you can also like it's really cool when you're going to make a check like that. If your character has like charm person, it'll allow you to use charm person to get advantage on that roll, or if you have like the friends cantrip on you, you can use friends right then to get advantage on the roll. But you got to be careful in that 1 minute post that.
So do they make saves on things like that? Like, do they go through the same thing on their end? Do you get to see that they have some sort of DC they have to beat, or?
So you let me describe for you these hours in this game for me, because I'm not going to spoil anything. There's not a whole lot of story you're going through in this Act 1. Basically, the whole premise is your character wakes up on a nautiloid, like on a mind flayer ship. You're starting the very beginning of this game. You're waking up. You're like, holy shit, what's going on? Your character wakes up on a nautiloid, and the nautiloid is crashing in Avernus.
Oh, dang! Okay.
I'm looking around at the beginning of this game. I'm standing around. I'm like, where the heck are we? And I walk out to the side and I go, I know where the heck we are.
What the fuck? That's so cool.
I was like, I have run an entire campaign in this setting. I know where we are right now. And so I'm looking around and I see Avernus, and then you meet a character in the very opening sequence of this game who's like, we need to get back to the material plane. We'll handle this. And you go through this whole long sequence where you have options to save characters or not save characters. And now you need to be very careful in these opening hours because you can completely miss companions and allies. Like, it's not like in Mass Effect where you have missions to go get these people. Like, if you decide to walk past a person who's in trouble, that might be your companion for the game.
Oh, no.
So I luckily am a good person, and so the ally that I'm with at the time is like, we have to keep going, leave this person behind, and I'm like, heck no. And so I figure out how to get this person out of like these little mind flayer pods that they're in, and now this person is a companion that can come with us. We get through these opening moments, and I'm just in awe because long story short, you're safe. You're back on the material plane, and you have like destinations you need to get to. Now you can wander around and interact with the world as you see fit, and you see that there are like a lot of different places. Like, there's a whole ruins to one side with bandits in it that you can handle. You go off far to the west, and there's a goblin camp, and you go straight in front of you. There's like a druid grove that can where you can meet people and help them out. And the whole opening of this Act 1 is basically handling this one forested area that you're in. I wandered around for a very long time, and I played through it with 2 different characters, a fighter and a ranger, both like more good aligned characters. And as the fighter, I ended up talking my way through this entire goblin encampment, walking up to like one of the bosses and saying, hey, like, you're kind of like me, you're kind of corrupted too, right? Like, we should handle this druid grove, right? Like, let's go handle these people. Like, we don't need these druid people around. And this one like big bad, one of the people we're supposed to be like getting rid of, is like, good idea. She's like, oh, and with you guys, like, you've been there, so you'll be super helpful. Like, you guys go in and handle that. And I'm playing this like I would play a D&D camp, like Sean plays D&D. I'm doing this. And so I'm luckily getting great charisma rolls. I'm using all my spells and stuff to make sure I don't have to fight these people. They come back, and I go in and I talk to the people at the Druid Grove. I'm like, hey, these guys are coming. We're gonna jump them. It's gonna suck for them. And they come, and there's this giant boss battle between us and this one of the big bads in Act 1, where they're coming to raid the Druid Grove because they think we're on their side, and we like jump them. The way I played through with the Ranger, completely different. Like, I shit you not, that me walking into this place and leaving had 2 completely different storylines. And this is the early access with like less than a quarter of the content that's going to be in this game, right? So, I walk into this goblin encampment this next time, and I'm like, yeah, we'll clear out this first area, then we'll talk ourselves in, then we'll poison the beer that the goblins are drinking, so that way half of them die off. And I basically just one and done cleared out the dungeon as if I was, like we went through, and through really good means of manipulation and poisoning things to make them weaker, getting allies at the right time, running into some allies that you guys would be very happy to see. No spoilers of who it will be, but you'll be like, I know this guy immediately from D&D lore. No,
sure.
from you'll be like, from D&D lore, you'll see this person and go, I know who that is. But I walked through this place and just like a madhouse, am using stealth mechanics on my side and clearing it out. And so this was a really fun way to play through it too, because the storyline was completely different. Everybody was super happy with me. They treated us like pure heroes in this Act 1. And after I finished that, I was like, all right, I'm dropping it because I have to play through it again on Thursday anyways. I have a 3-day weekend this weekend from work. So that means from Thursday until Sunday, taking a break for D&D, I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm probably going to get like 25 hours in it this weekend.
Dang. Okay, well, it's good to see you're committed to it. You're really enjoying it. It makes me feel better about everything.
And this doesn't include any of like the side quests and stuff that I experienced. Like, there were different ways to do so many different things that will make certain allies happy with you and like angry with you, and I can't gush about it enough. And I'm not even playing the character I want to play, which is either going to be a tiefling bard, I believe, or Schmidt the monk.
Oh, okay. So I feel like you need to commit to Schmidt the monk. I feel like that's what you need to do.
Well, sadly, they don't have Way of the Long Death, but they do have Shadow Monk, and I'm thinking a Shadow Monk would be totally what I'm into, because the stealth mechanics in this game are really good. I would recommend, before actually playing it, watching a couple of like the tools and like helpful tips videos, because you learn a lot about the mechanics that are kind of hidden behind there. Like, you can switch to turn-based mode at any time. So like if say a patrol is circling around a certain area and you want to time it perfectly so you can get to somewhere, you can switch to turn-based mode and have each of your characters move individually. So that way they're each that way the enemies aren't moving while you're moving.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, and then likewise, there are a lot of combat mechanics. Like everybody can use like 7 to 9, I think, like basic actions, including hide, shove, jump, things like that as their bonus actions. So everybody can hide as a bonus action, which means they buffed cunning action for rogues separately. But everybody's able to hide whenever they feel like it. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to hide well, okay? But everybody can do it. So in that same vein, being able to, and the shove action is super useful to use as a bonus action, because height advantages and things like that matter here, where like if you're up in an area, if you can push someone down to an area, you might change the tides of battle for yourself. I had an instance with my ranger where I was trying to fight the big bad. There's like a big bad and there's like a big bad in Act 1. I was fighting the big bad with my ranger, and he pushed me off of a bridge down into a spider pit, and now my character, is fighting off giant spiders down here while the rest of my party is trying to beat the big bad upstairs.
Oh, no.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it was super cool, and that's one of those moments where a lot of gamers, like, treating it like a video game, might be like, oh, this isn't, like, optimal for me, I should reload. But me as a D&D player, I'm like, okay, my ranger will handle these spiders, right? What I did with them is I was like dashing between pillars of cover and hiding, and like just shooting arrows, and then eventually they got low enough to where I could run out and like destroy them with my sword. But yeah.
So while that's going on, let me ask you. Yeah, so are you controlling the rest of your party fighting the big bad at the same time, or are you just controlling your character? Okay.
Yeah, so initiative is still going on. So I'm down here in initiative with the spiders, and upstairs the initiative is still going on with the big bad.
Got it.
Yeah, so that had to be handled. Now, I did learn later that I could have used Find Familiar to summon a cat on the other side of the gate and like let me back upstairs by having the cat pull the lever. I could have done that because I'm they mess with a couple of the subclasses a little bit in order to make them stronger, especially for the weaker classes, kind of like the Ranger in original 5e. So they mess with them and provide you with like additional abilities. So my Ranger can use Find Familiar anytime he wants.
That's pretty cool.
And also, instead of like those general like traversal rules that could come into play, like favor terrain and things like that, you actually get extra. There's like an extra little like not like sub-racial thing or like subclass thing on top of like how you get to choose a hunter or a beastmaster or a giant slayer or something like that. There's actually another thing on top of that that's like urban tracker, and you choose another extra ability basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, just to help out with all of that. This game feels like D&D. It feels amazing. And is on top of that, you can have a full 4-party co-op group go into this, which is insane. Like you can have your full 4-person adventuring team play this game. Everybody gets to vote on decisions that get made along the way. So if everybody's saying stuff and deciding to make checks, whoever's affecting the story, it comes down to the group. It's not just the person talking.
Is there multi-classing?
And there is multi-classing.
Yeah!
So if you want to make your Hexblade paladin, you go ahead and do it.
I just wanted a multi-subclass into different kinds of clerics, so I could be all the clerics at once. Is what I'm looking for.
They have most of the base clerics in there, as well as they might have Tempest clerics as well. I know they have Trickery Domain clerics.
I want Tempest cleric for sure.
But they have most of them have 3 subclasses, like some of the base 3 subclasses, and then the rest have like Wizard has like every School of Magic subclass, and then Cleric has like most of the base domain subclasses as well.
Awesome.
I'm so stoked. I just want to look through it. I just want to go to like the main menu and just look around and see what's there.
Yeah, so that's why I ended up doing it in the first place. I was like, I'm just gonna play around in the character creator. Well, it can't hurt to start up the game, right? and then I did, and I ended up 17 hours in with 2 different characters. And there are some cool racial options too.
I gotta get on and pre-order
you can
this
play as Zariel, Tiefling, which is
cool.
Awesome that's included in there. A Zariel Tiefling, Mephistopheles Tiefling, and like the base like Fiendish Tiefling, or an Asmodeus Tiefling. That's the one. All the options are awesome. All the I can't wait to get into the actual character creator, because the one that they have in early access is pretty limited. They don't have like most of the assets that you need. But yeah, this game's crazy. It's crazy. I can't gush about it enough, and I'm sure I will gush about it on episodes to come, because this is an official Dungeons & Dragons product, everybody listening. So I'm not just talking about a video game here on our D&D podcast, okay? This is a Forgotten Realms D&D licensed product.
Yeah, and we would never just talk about some video game for half the episode.
Yeah,
no, definitely not.
Yeah, I've got something for you guys in the post show, but and do you guys have anything more to add? Like, what are your guys' thoughts just after hearing me gush about it?
Well, I'm stoked. Every week that I hear the news from Seth on your end, I get more excited about playing this game. And for anyone that is not interested in playing this game, I guess, if you're looking for some different content, you can head on over to patreon.com/TableTalk Friday. We'll find some great post shows, some early access, all kinds of good stuff on there. You'll meet some great people like Good Old Gamer, one of our favorite patrons. So feel free to hop on over and see what's going on.
Yeah, nothing additional to add. Super excited about Baldur's Gate 3. Super excited about Big B Presents Glory of the Giants and Phandelver and Below, and everything coming after. Really, Wizards of the Coast, since I know you're listening, thank you for sitting through this episode. It might have been hard to hear some of this stuff, but really, we just want your game to be the best it can be. So take it from us. We're big fans. We're excited to see what you do, and please make it worth our dollar. Because I'm gonna go bankrupt, and it's gonna be your fault. So,
and with that, thank you so much for listening to Table Talk Friday. We've already mentioned patreon.com/Table Friday, where you can get all kinds of awesome content. So I'm not even gonna delay it any further. Can I please have the glory of the Eric take me out?
Yeah, totally, bro. I'd be happy to take you guys out. I'm so glad that you finally summoned me. Glory of the Eric. So So yeah, just a couple things before you go. Make sure to drink your whey protein. You can put that in a smoothie, or you can put it. I just like to sprinkle it on top of my sandwich. But whatever works for you. And don't forget to drink your vitamins A, B, C, and D. Also, remember to subscribe to our Patreon, where you can become an Eric like me, and yeah, I just hope you all have like a righteous day for the rest of that's it. That's the end of the show.